Hey there, YouTubes. This is Grimweird coming back at you with another edition of my Enigmatica 2 expert playthrough action. I'm out looking for an immersive engineering villager engineer to trade with to see if I can find some graphite rods for an arc furnace because I got on a wild tangent there. So I was doing that. Um, there was a dragon up here, and I thought we'd kill another dragon. This time with a little aerial combat. So that seemed to work out fine. So now again and one thing I just did was I just picked up a skeleton spawner from a place I was flying over and noticed it had junk. So with an open hand, I'm right-clicking here to to loot him and pick his stuff up. I don't think I really need any of this stuff, but may as well pick it up. So what am I doing and why? I sort of wanted to, I was, reviewing my situation, trying to figure out what to do. My armor is good. My weapon is good, as we just saw as I slaughtered that dragon pretty easy. I can fly, so I'm feeling pretty badass right now, and I'm sort of was wondering, what to do with myself. And so I was looking through things, and it's like, what about my base did I want to change? I would sort of like to recycle some of that armor I've pulled in. I've pulled in a bunch of armor from mobs with my little tiny inefficient mob farm, but I don't know what to do with it all, and I don't want to slap it in my AE system because then I'll just clog that up. So I thought, all right, let's go ahead and try and make the immersive engineering arc furnace to try and recycle some of that. And the other reason I wanted to do that was also I noticed that our next harvest level, if we look back at here, is actually a Terra Steel sharpening kit. So I think I might be able to melt down some Terra Steel that I've got to make it. Otherwise, I've got to launch back into Botania when I need that and start doing it that way. So I'm going to try and get the arc furnace going, but what I noticed was that you need graphite rods are a consumable component that is part of it. I've never made one of these before, but reading up on it and reading through the manual here, you got to put 3 graphite rods in it to get it to even function. And the only way to really do those, well, there's 2 ways to do those. You can trade for them from an engineer, an immersive engineering villager, or you can create them out of coke coal. And so the coke oven for immersive engineering is sort of slow, and it's sort of big, and it's sort of a pain in the ass. So I wasn't that psyched to set that back up. So I thought I would go ahead, and also then you need to take that and put it through some sort of big old squeezer. So it means setting up not only the arc furnace, but also a coke oven and a squeezer, and having like 3 huge machines to deal with. And I sort of wasn't in the mood to do that, so I found out you can sometimes trade for these graphite rods, and I thought, just to check this out, just to see if it's something I like. Maybe I would do that first, just to try and trade for some. I have more emeralds than I know what to do with now. I'll probably regret saying that when I get to something like draconic engineering, which I think uses a bunch of emeralds. But at least for now, I have so much that I don't even know what to do with. So I thought I'd do that. I've only seen one village with a immersive engineering engineer's house in it, and I traded with that guy a bit. I traded just for a bunch of things I might use, like MV wire. and got him leveled up, but he never offered me graphite rods. So I was going to look around and see if I could find another one real quick, and if not, I'll just bite the bullet and make a coke oven and a squeezer and just have huge things all over the place. But anyway, as I was flying around, I saw one of these little places. One of these. So sometimes these have engineers, and sometimes they have they've been destroyed and they have like monster spawners in them instead. But I did finally get my skeleton spawner. I've been sort of wanting one of those for a while, just in case I need it. And I got that. But yeah, then I noticed that dragon flying around and thought, hey, let's kill that and maybe go ahead and start up this place. So what I want to do now is see if I can see where where he came from. If there's some sort of horde around here for me to steal. And I'm not really seeing anything that looks like one. When I first spotted him, he was up by this island. I think he was up there killing slimes. So there's a bunch of bone. Huh, interesting. I'm not really seeing something here. If I saw him here, it should really be in this sort of area. Let's go ahead and just because I can. I'm really enjoying the new angel ring, by the way. But let's just run up here and make sure that there's nothing up here interesting. No. Aha, I see it. It's a tiny one. A very tiny one. I don't even see any chests. So it looks like possibly nothing but a few nuggets. Oh, there's one chest. And more nuggets. Alright, so not an exciting dragon horde. But I'm going to continue to just sort of fly around a bit and look around for things. Basically, I'm looking for those little forts, like the place with the skeleton spawner that I just saw, except one that still has villagers at it. And I'm looking for more villages that might have an immersive engineer's house in them. And I'm just looking for anything else that I might find interesting here. And it's getting dark, so I think I'm just going to teleport home and hop in my bed real quick. But as you can see, I've made all the stuff. We now can make steel super fast and even autocraft some of it. I can't autocraft the whole thing yet, but most of it. And so I've got all the stuff for making the arc furnace. Basically all I need now is the graphite rods. So I'm going to pause the recording here a bit, and I'm going to search around a bit more, just partly for fun and partly to look for graphite rods. And if I can't find graphite rods, I'll craft up the components necessary to do the coke oven and squeezer, and then we'll come back and we'll try to get this thing assembled. So another thing that I've been doing is just sort of flying around, and if I see any hippogryphs, I've been shooting them down. The reason being is I won't be able to tell until I go back and check my inventory, since Global Traveler is teleporting monster drops straight into my ME system at this point. But what I'll do is I'll just see if I get any eggs for those guys. Maybe we'll try breeding one. I don't need one really as a mount, obviously, since I can just sort of fly around at this point. But it never hurts to experiment with things. Yep, and there's a big old dead dragon. I certainly don't need any more hearts and bones and etc. for this stuff. I mean, the things you can make with this mod. Yeah, I'm not even gonna. Well, okay, I'll go ahead and pick those up. I don't think there's anything here. Unless I breed a dragon, I might need some bone for like a dragon flute or something, which is like a summoning thing. But I think I have tons of that stuff. So I'm a little reluctant to even bother picking that crap up anymore. But, you know, whatever. Yeah, I'm not even going to loot that guy. I've looted a lot of dragon skeletons, and from the dead ones, one reason I was trying was I think you can get eggs from stage 4 and 5 dragons, and a lot of those dead skeletons are stage 4 and 5. However, I don't know that the dead ones will actually give you eggs. All I ever get is bones and skulls from them. So this is sort of cool. I saw one of these in my test world. Just big old terracotta gears. Sort of fun. Don't think we need any more skystone or any more applied energistics junk from there. I guess I'm sort of wandering pretty far afield at this point. Anyway, I'm going to pause the recording again and continue to sort of just look around. Oh, hey, look, it's one of those. So I think these are from like olden days, because I remember seeing these around a long time ago. A lot of the structures that I see nowadays are new to me. What's that? Is that some big old beast? A hippocampus. Interesting. I think those can also be used as, those are another ice and fire ones, and I think those can be used as mounts as well. And you use them in water in like lieu of a boat. And I think they're super fast and whatnot. Instead of shooting it, I should have gone down there to get a look at it. But anyway. So yeah, I'm going to just continue to sort of search around and see what I see. If I find any interesting monsters or find anything super interesting, I will turn the recording back on. And otherwise, we will move on when I find some graphite rods, or when I get bored and decide to just make everything by scratch. And I do see on my map that we're coming up on another dragon. And I can see him shooting stuff, even though I can't see him yet. We might as well give this guy a little trouble. And we got him. That was circle strafing there to avoid getting shot by fire, so that all worked out fine. And this guy actually has a reasonably sizable horde, so maybe we'll get some good stuff here. Open hand to get him to loot. Stow all that stuff so I can pick up more. It's getting dark, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get away from those monsters so that I don't get the message that I can't sleep with hostile monsters around. And then go ahead and try and get some sleep so we aren't interrupted as we're looting our new dragon horde. This is going to be a sizable amount of gold nuggets, so just out of curiosity, okay, I have stowed my, stow some more of this junk. So I've stolen my gold nuggets, so we'll see how many we get from this whole thing. A decent amount of nuggets. Doesn't super matter anymore, but I'm always sort of trying to figure out things for the future. So the next time I play something with ice and fire in it, it would be good to know, you know, what kind of yield you might get from a big horde like this. Helps for calculating risk-reward of fighting a dragon when you're not flying in great armor with a laser gun. In my test world before I started this Let's Play series on this world, I was able to kill a dragon just with a bow and arrow. Now, true, it was a well enchanted one. For instance, it had infinity, so I had plenty of arrows, and it had power 4, and I think those were the main things that were helping me. Alright, how many did we get? 64, 2 stacks plus 14. That's a decent amount right there. 3 stacks. So yeah, that's an excellent amount there. Let's see, that's going to be 63 will get you 7 bars. So that's like 21 bars. Yeah, so almost like 23 bars worth of gold from this guy. So now let's see if we get what we get here. Get more manuscripts, which is good because we haven't actually completed. I'm going to have to actually break out a second backpack here from all the fat loot we're getting. So we haven't completed our Ice and Fire book, so this will give us more things to put in there. I like getting the empowered stuff. Some of those might actually give us an advancement if we haven't actually made them in the empower yet, so that's nice. An iron chest plate, not so excited about, but hey, whatever. I'm just happy to, you know, get like a really nice horde here, because it seems like the oh, there we go, plutonium-238, so we could make another RTG. That would be cool. Stow some of this junk. So at least an Enigmatica 2 expert, it does not seem like the nuclear craft, plutonium, and fuels cause radiation damage by default. But we will, I think, maybe have to still watch out for, ooh, Californium. That's also very nice. But I think we will have to watch out for the industrial craft stuff. Like the tiny pile of plutonium. Just to be safe, I'm not going to pick that up for now. I'll just mark it on my map and pick it up if and when I decide I need some. Because I think the industrial craft radiation sickness is on, and I don't want to make myself sick. So we're going to go ahead and mark that on our map. This will be the second tiny pile. We have so I think we got another one that we marked somewhere. Yes, no, maybe. Maybe not. Regardless, we got one marked here. So if I decide to try the industrial craft stuff, I'll be able to make that. More litherite I think is good. Hey, there's one of the empowered ones we hadn't seen yet, which should get us a loot chest. And more litherite. And more chests. I always like more chests, because it seems like I always need more chests, even when I don't. And there's more Californium. Block of gold. Getting lots of good stuff here. There are a lot of monsters below me. I wonder if it's some sort of dungeon or something, because it seems like a whole bunch of them down there. And another tiny pile and an uranium, 238. So we're going to leave both those tiny piles here in case I need them. I'll come back for them because now I know where they are. And that was quite the haul. We got a lot of fuel here. So we got a Californium 252, a Californium 250, a uranium 238, a plutonium 238. So yeah, I would definitely say, if I was, early, mid-game, and on a different playthrough, if I saw a big horde like this with lots of chests, I would probably zerg the hell out of the dragon. Just keep attacking it and try to wear it down and kill it, just to get myself a little head start on these. I forget which is the best RTG. So it looks like the Californium is the best. I'm not 100% sure these numbers are right. So when it says 50, 250, 150, and 750, I'm not sure that's right, but definitely having some Californium 250 is going to be excellent. And we do have one of those. What I'm not sure is if the 252 can be converted. Yeah, so the Californium 252, we'll have to figure out what we want to do with that. Let's go uses. DK Hastener to thorium. Alright, so that looks like it's going to be on the chain of fuels for future... Wow, that is an insane amount of activity down there. tempted to run down here just to see if there's something special down here, or if this is just all, you know, spawning. Little charged Certus quartz. We still have need of that, so that's good. Have I mentioned I like the laser gun? So it looks like this episode's going to end up being mostly me just running around killing dragons and exploring and stuff. But you know, there are worse things. We haven't done that in a while. Let's head back and try and find that horde of things. Or that direction. Huh, the charred stone goes underground. I wonder if there's more stuff here. But yeah, you know what I say about finding your way through caves. If yeah, I even have my excavator out. If you can't find a passage, make one. This is Minecraft after all. Ah, yes. Moss stone, so there probably is some sort of dungeon here. Right at the moment, I don't actually think that I need anything from a dungeon, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wander off. But I'll mark it on my map and maybe come back later and clean that out. You guys don't need to see that. It's probably just your basic dungeon. And it's dark outside. I'm going to go ahead and teleport back to base and sort of reset. I think I've wandered far, far afield here. Yeah, so I'm like way, way, way far away from my base. And I have lots of other stuff to explore. So I'm going to sort of reset my search radius. I'm going to go ahead and head back to the base and sleep. And I'm going to go look through my ME system to see if my laser gun has teleported in anything interesting like hippogryph eggs or anything else interesting, and check the runtime on this episode. And then if we have more time, maybe we'll do some more exploring. We've obviously sort of gone too far to actually do the arc furnace today. But yeah, let me go check on things and I'll be right back. Alright, and so we are running on in time for this episode, so I thought what I would do is just check and see if I had all the stuff necessary to make the Californium RTG, and I did. I had to make up some advanced plating and, some advanced plating first, but I had everything to make the advanced plating, so boom, we have a Californium RTG. Well, that was an exciting reaction. So we completed some challenge by making this. That's cool. And I'm sort of interested to see how much power it pumps out. It says 750 RF per tick. What are we currently at? We are currently at, well, Well, I'm not sure we could even tell because we've got so much coming in here. We've got, this has the capability to make 60,000 RF per tick, and my 25 billion RF thing is full. There's probably some sort of tool that allows you to mouse over something and see how much it's making. But for now, I guess we'll just throw it up here and let it add to our capabilities. So yeah, that'll now input into there. And it's sort of, on one hand, I hate the fact that I'm generating power, or I could be generating power, and I don't because I have no place to store it. But 25 billion seems like a decent amount of RF for mid-game, so I'm not exactly sure I want to spend a lot of time and effort making more storage until I actually know I'm going to need some more storage. And I'm sure I will. I mean, I've seen, people make huge draconic evolution things that pump out gazillions of RF per second and can store gazillions, and so I'm sure there's something to do with it later. But I'm not the type of person to usually just do something without a reason to do it. So I'm probably going to go fly around a bit more just because I'm having fun. And in the next episode, if I haven't found something, I will go ahead and make up what we need for, what is that beast called? So let's see. Trying to do is trying to make an arc furnace to see if we can recycle some of that armor that we have sitting around. And as you can see, it takes a lot of junk. Cauldron, steel, sheet metal slabs, even blocks of steel, 6 blocks of steel. So this explains why I didn't make it earlier. It's because I just didn't feel like dealing with trying to make that much steel. But that's a big old 5x5 structure, so we're going to have to find some place to put that. Unfortunately, we're also probably going to have to make the squeezer. So I'm going to have to make even more stuff. A couple fluid pipes, 6 steel scaffoldings, 4 wooden barrels. That's not too much. But the squeezer should allow us to take coal dust and squeeze it into HOP coal dust, which can then make HOP coal ingots, which can then make graphite rods so that we can operate our arc furnace. That's if I can't find a immersive engineering villager that will just sell it to us. I did check, and fortunately I did have the arc furnace electrodes. I think that might be something that you have to get off of a villager as well, or a crate, and I think, or a loot chest or something. And I think I did get this out of some chest somewhere. But these graphite electrodes, not rods, electrodes, are what we're looking for. But if we look here at the HOP graphite, it's like the ingots can really only be made from the dust. And the dust can really only be made from coke dust. All the rest of this stuff is just breaking down ingots. Manufactory will do it, which is sort of nice. 8 into 1. That's the same rate. Oh, well, that's good news. I missed that when I first glanced at this. That's good news. So if we have a manufactory, so then that would mean we just need the coke dust, and the coke dust, oh no, that's right, I need coal coke from something. to make the coke dust. I can get away without the squeezer, but I might not be able to get away without the coke oven. So Thermal Foundation has some coal coke, but it's not letting me, when I click on it, it's not taking me to the recipe. I think in normal situations that uses one of the, let's see if we go at thermal. I think that uses one of the, maybe the pulverizer with the tectonic initiator. I think that might be one of these bad boys. I don't have that yet because I need petroleum dust, which I think can only be made out of basalt's powder. And for basalt's powder, I have to go hunt down a basalt's, I think that's the stone version of a blaze. Anyway, good news is don't have to make a squeezer. Bad news is I probably do have to set up my coke oven again. And the coke oven is slow. So maybe what I'll do is in between episodes, I'll just go ahead and set up the coke oven, get some coke coal, etc., on through the hop graphite or the graphite electrodes, and then we can set up the arc furnace next time. I did go ahead and hollow out a space back here to give us a little room for that big old 5x5 arc furnace. So that'll be nice. Gonna have room for it here. I just wanted some place where out of the way where I could put up a big machine close to having power that I could feed into it. All right, so yeah, that's it for. I'm gonna do some more exploring between episodes. I'm gonna set up the coke oven, get some graphite electrodes, and then we'll be good to go for the arc furnace next time. And we'll see if it actually does its recycling. I'm a little worried that that some of its recycling recipes aren't going to work, because it seems like some of the smelter recipes that allows you to smelt down armor don't really work in this mod pack. But if we look at just trying to think of something that's going to show it. Let's see. All right. This is not doing what I was hoping it would do. This is what I'm after. Arc furnace recycling. So I've got a bunch of things like this that can give me a bunch of things like that. If we hit uses, go to recycling, these 128 pages is what I'm interested in. So you can see there's all sorts of stuff that you can melt down. I have a bunch of mana steel that I would love to go ahead and melt down into mana steel ingots. I think Terra Steel will do this as well. I just sort of assumed it did since the mana steel did, but I could be wrong there. Just sort of click through this real quick. The Prudentium and so all this mystical agriculture stuff. I've got a lot of that built up for my little farm. So that could work for us. Tough alloy, it would be cool too. I got a bunch of tough alloy sitting in chests in weird places. It would be cool to melt that down. And hay, terra steel. So I do have some terra steel pieces, not many, but a few. But it would be nice to melt that down as well. So anyway, that's where we're going. Until next time, this is Grimweird signing out, as always, with our lovely avatar, Zombie Steve. Bye.